Hi, everybody. It's Kathy Ondas with Simply Cards by Kathy. And I'm signing on just a minute early here so we can make sure you can hear me and see me. If you are watching from Facebook, actually, you're not. You're only watching from YouTube because Facebook wouldn't cooperate when I tried to stream to there too. So I'm really excited to be here with you today. We're going to do a technique today. And I'm going to try to do a different technique each week with for you. So we're going to get started. It is Friday and it is the 15th of April of 2022. And thank you for joining me for Fun at One. This is a card that I did, and I actually used two of the new colors. And this is called the Faux tear technique, and hopefully you can see it. Let me add a little bit of light here for you. And I used two of the new colors with this. And with this, I used the shaded summer stamp. And I used Parakeet Party and Sweet Sorbet. And I have to admit, this is the first time I've used the new colors. I've been so busy keeping up with some of the other stuff. So I wanted to try it out. And I really liked it. And I mounted it on the Sweet Sorbet cardstock. So we're going to replicate this card, but we're going to use a different stamp and see how it looks with the Dragonfly Garden. And we're going to use Daffodil Delight and Soft Succulent. And then we'll compare the two cards and see which you like better. If you have done the faux technique before, leave me a comment and let me know that you can hear and see me okay. And we're going to go ahead and start. I've done some of the prep work. So we're starting off, and don't worry about the measurements. Everything's going to be right down below after about an hour after the video is over. But we started off with 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2. And I'm going to go ahead and score this. And then our next layer is going to be black. And these are by ace. So this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I know some of you don't like ace. Just take it down to quarters then, and it'll work just as well. And then I have a 4 by 5 1/4. So to do the faux technique, I'm using just a piece of sticky note paper. And I've cut it down so that it is the same size as my white piece of cardstock. So let's pull one of these off. And you're just going to tear it like you would have torn or before, like when we would tear, and we still do cards, just to make a pretty edge. And this is going to be what we use to do our technique. So I'm going to use that half because I want to make sure I have a big enough area for this stamp. And I'm going to make sure that it is up at the top and that it covers. Now my whole piece isn't sticky. But I have the ability to, gosh, I put it on the wrong side. Let's put it over here. I want this side white and the other side the color. Okay. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take just a piece of my tape, and it'll kind of even hold it down for me. So I'm just going to put that up here. Now there's two ways to do this. When I did this card, I used blending brushes. And you have to be careful as you're doing it with the blending brush. You want to pull away from the edge of the paper. Another way to do it is to take an art sponge like I have here. I've cut it in half, and I cut a wedge off of it. And actually, we're going to cut a second wedge off for the green. And we're going to try it this way. So let's start. I'm going to start with my Daffodil Delight. And you just take your sponge and you dab it into the pad. And as you do this, you're going to hold it down, and you're going to pull away from your paper. You kind of hear that swishing motion. And then just keep pulling away. And as you get further out, you can do some swirling. I'm careful not to do that towards the edge of the paper, simply because I don't want it to go under the paper. I want that nice crisp white edge. So just like with your blending brushes, I dab off a little bit because you try to avoid getting some dark edges. And I want this to be pretty dark. I want it to be a really bright color. I think I'm happy with that. So let's close this up. And the second color I chose to use was Soft Succulent. That's one of my favorite greens. And let's bring this one in. And again, I'm going to dab it. And I'm going to dab off. And you can see the dark spots kind of dab off. And I'm going to pull away. And again, and pull away. Now you do get some of the color on the edges, but I like that. And this is going to go up against the black. And I am going to blend it in a little bit as we get to the bottom of the yellow. One more time, and I think we'll be good. All right. Okay, and let's close this up. And we're going to take this ink on my hands off. And then you're going to peel this back and look at the pretty edge that you have. I really like that. So I'm going to go ahead now and we're going to stamp. And I'm just going to stamp this in the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. Because I want it to just be more of a focal point or kind of striking just in the black. And this is one stamp that has few open areas to color. So what is open is going to pick up the color from the blending of the ink. So I want to make sure I don't get my head in here. And we're just going to go down. So there's our stamp. Okay, so let's go over and we're going to start to put this together. I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue, and I'm going to first put down that black layer. And again, if you've seen this before or you've done it before, I'd love to hear what you think of the technique. Just leave me a comment. And let's kind of just reposition that a little bit. And that's why I use the glue, because like I've said before, I don't do anything straight. And I'm going to glue this down because what I'm going to do is pop up my greeting. And if I pop up both, I'm afraid it's going to be a little bit too thick for the envelope for it to fit in. So just going to glue this down. And I love the colors with that little bit of pop of black against the yellow. Oops. There we go. Okay, now my greeting I already stamped, and it is also from Dragonfly Garden. It's thank you for your kindness. So I'm going to adhere this. And let's pop this up with some dimensionals. I hope you're enjoying the video. If you do, I'd really appreciate it if you'd give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And then if you hit the little bell over there, you'll be notified when videos are scheduled. Let's put this right here. Now I'm going to bring in a piece of paper to, I did not cut a piece of paper for my inside. So let's bring that in. And I'm going to bring in the cutting board, and we're going to cut that pretty quickly here. And I'm going to do that at 4 1/8. And then 5 3/8. And I think for this, for the inside, I think I'm going to just do the little dragonflies just to give it something on the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and do those in black also. So let's pick that up on a block. And I am going to leave the center without a greeting because I like to write personalized greetings when I'm writing thank yous. And you can see I got glue on black on my hands, and it got on my paper. There we go. Let's close this up before I get it on anything else and bring our card back in. Now, you know, I keep hand sanitizer on my desk, and I even keep some wet ones in the drawer because for the glue and the ink, when I get it on, it's great to take it off so you don't smear it on your card, kind of like I did. Now, there's the inside of our card. And we'll close it. And then let's add some matte black dots just to give it a little bit of some dimension here. I love these dots. I think they add a lot to the cards. Let's bring one there. And I like to do a triangle. And I like to use an odd number 3. And then let's go with a baby one, maybe right in here. Okay, so quick and easy card, easy technique. Let's bring this back in. Now we could add something more, but I wanted clean and simple. So here's our 2 cards, one using Shaded Summer with the 2 new colors, Sweet Sorbet, and the other one using Dragonfly Garden with Daffodil Delight and Soft Succulent. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll be back on Monday evening at 7 p.m. I hope you'll join me, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Have a good day, and hope to see you soon.